Yo, what's up, gang? Welcome to the Rig Report. Predict the Script, Thanksgiving edition, week 13. I'm your host, JS. And before we begin, I appreciate all the support. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, notifications. If you guys like the content I'm providing, please continue to support. I appreciate you. All right, y'all know my slogan. The world is a stage, but we still trying to get paid. All right. So we got three different days of games. We got games Thursdays, we got a game Friday, we got game Sunday, and we even got a Monday. So that's 4 days. So we're gonna get through these games. We're gonna predict the script. I'm gonna focus in on the four picks that I like for my parlay and for my single picks, and we're gonna continue to keep it rolling. We went 4-0 last week. For those who've been watching, if you've been telling my picks, you've been winning a little bit of money. You've been seeing I've been hitting, I've been a high percentile, and I just want to keep it that way. We know it's scripted, but we want to go ahead and make some money off this scripted football that we're watching. You know, it's nothing else we can do. You feel me? So, with that being said, let's jump into this week's matchups and let's predict the script. All right, we're going to start off with Thanksgiving 1 o'clock game is Packers at Lions. Lions are 3-point favorites against the Packers. Both teams won last week. When they played their first division game against each other, the Packers won in their home. So I feel like Lions owe them so they can even the series and get the win at home. Okay, so that's my prediction for the Lions and the Packers. All teams playing. Jaden Reed is back for the Packers, even though they don't have a number one receiver. You know, this should be a good matchup. They play each other pretty good, except when the Packers beat them. I think it was week 1 or week 2 at home due to the Michael Parsons having the effect there. So Lions are looking for some get back there. So for that reason, it's a 3-point spread. You know, I would edge towards the Lions to win the game just to even it again. Packers won the first division matchup. All right, they're both in the playoff race. They're both not going anywhere. I expect a really hard-fought game, close game, or a blowout. Lions might get the blowout back, but I got the Lions winning that one. I don't see the Packers winning on the road after they already beat the Lions once. But we'll see. Who knows what's in the script? You feel me? All right. Moving on to the second Thanksgiving game, we got the Chiefs at the Cowgirls. The Chiefs are giving the Cowgirls 3.5 points at home, just like the Eagles did. Let's see here. They do have Isaiah Pacheco coming back to help the running game a little bit for the Chiefs. Cowboys just got their Super Bowl win against the Eagles on that scripted game where the Eagles couldn't score after the first or top of the second quarter. But for this game, it's going to be tough. Cowboys 3.5. They're not making the playoffs, but they're trying. Chiefs are trying to fight back into the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? So, of course, I think I would lean Chiefs there. But this game, I'm really kind of staying away from. Cowboys could have another sparked up scripted win, whatever the case may be. 3.5. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I would just lean for the Chiefs money line. You know, I don't think the Cowboys got it in them to do it back to back to win 2 Super Bowls in a row, so they can be 6-5-1. Yeah. I would lean Chiefs in this one against the Cowgirls. Already won a Super Bowl. All right, so I'm leaning towards the Chiefs in that Thanksgiving game. You guys also let me know who you guys like. And then for the third game for the Thanksgiving evening, we have the Bengals at the Ravens. Ravens then climbed their way back into the playoffs. They are ahead in their division now. They are 7-point favorites against the Bengals. Joe Burrow looked like he is trending to come back. He wants to play. He says he's ready. If Joe Burrow plays, this is going to be a very tight game. You know, Bengals do have offensive players. Chase is back from his suspension. You got Higgins. You got Chase Brown. You know, you got some players over there, but they're missing their quarterback. Of course, their O-line is banged up and their defense stinks. But if you have Joe Burrow and those wide receivers, you can be in any game. You know, Ravens haven't been completely dominant. Kyle Hamilton hurt his ankle last week, so we don't know if he's going to play. You know, Their running game hasn't been all that at all as far as Lamar running, Derrick Henry, so this game could go either way. If Joe Burrow plays, I would lean towards the Bengals getting 7 points, because now the Ravens done caught up. So they can take a loss, and now it ain't like, oh my God, they're out the playoffs. They were 1-5. They're already back at the top of their division. So it's them and the Steelers fighting for that spot. You know what I mean? So don't be surprised if Ravens lose. I'm not saying they're going to, but I'm saying if they do, it's not the end of the world. They're not in must-win mode anymore. Okay, so like I said, if Joe Burrow plays, I would lean towards the Bengals with the 7. But however, I still would favor the Ravens money line, all things considered. Okay, but I don't think I'll be taking any of those Thanksgiving games as my sure picks. The game I will be taking as my sure pick is the one game on Friday where my Eagles, go Birds, play at home against the Bears. Eagles are 7-point favorites against the Bears after that scripted loss we had to the Dolphins last week. I don't think we're losing this game. It may be closer than 7 because, again, our offense is up, down, sputtering, don't know what we're doing. And Caleb, one of the darling teams, has Ben Johnson over there. So for those who are brave enough, I could see them taking the Bears with the 7 points because you don't know what you're going to get out of us. However, I'm going Eagles to win. We just lost to the Cowgirls. The Bears and the Eagles, both in the NFC, are 8-3. So this matters a lot. This game matters a lot. Enough of the bullshit. Eagles win. Taking that, lock it in as my pick. Taking the Eagles money line on Friday, which happens to be my birthday. So if anybody want to shout out, send me a happy birthday on Friday or even before, I appreciate it greatly. But yeah, Eagles get the birthday win on Black Friday, my born day. And we'll take the money line on that one. All right. So go Birds. All right, we're looking into now Sunday's slate. Sunday slate, 1 o'clock. We have my boy Shedeur back as the starter at home against the 49ers. 49ers were 6-point favorites before the Shedeur win. It has creeped down to 4.5. So it looks like they got a lot of money on San Fran. People are placing bets on San Fran. And I don't blame them. Shedeur, reason I took them last week is for the anticipation of Shedeur, the galvanization, ramping the team up, getting them amped because they wanted to see him, but also because they were playing the Raiders. I felt like Dillon Gabriel and the Browns could have beat the Raiders or at least covered the 3 or 4. So Shedeur is a step up for Dillon Gabriel. Of course, they can win or cover. So that's why I take them. 49ers, different story. 49ers can run them out. Browns have a good defense at home. Yes. Yes, they do. I'm just curious to see how they support Shedeur. Okay, I see Kevin Stefanski was forced to, give him some props in his latest interview when he announced he was the starter. But what kind of plan do they got for them? Is it the wham? Is the script in, oh, Shedeur, and then next week he gets railroaded by the 49ers and they're like, oh, we told you. You know what I mean? So I'm going to fall back on this game, just to see what's going on, how he looks with the system behind him, what have you. I can see them covering the 4.5. Browns have a very good defense, great defense, and they're at home. They're galvanized. It's just what type of game plan, because let's say Sanders balls out or he gets a pick 6 or a pick late in the game when they're trying to come back. So as far as that spread go, that scripted spread, I'm not going to mess with it this week. I'm rooting for Shedeur. I hope the Browns cover. I hope they win. But Niners, formidable team. Again, Shanahan offense. You see what they've been doing to the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? They can be a little too, it's possible they can be a little bit too much for the Browns, but the Browns, they got new energy, man. They got new energy. So for those who are taking the Browns with the 4.5, good luck. I'm rooting for them. It's just for this one, I'm going to fall back as far as making it my definite pick. But let's go Shedeur. Get Kevin Stefanski the fuck out of there if he's not going to get with the program. And let's turn things around. Go Shedeur. All right. Next game, we got the Jaguars at the Titans. Jaguars winning this game. Titans, are we sure that Cam Ward is the guy? Like, are we sure? One game, I know it's only one game, but just coming in, Shedeur seems like a better fit. He seems like the better quarterback. Cam Ward has had 13 weeks 12 weeks going into 13 at the starting position. And even though his team is bad, when you got that quarterback, you kind of see flashes of, good things, even though the team is bad. Look at Jackson Dart. The team was bad. You know what I mean? But you see how he was galvanizing and moving the ball and stuff and making things happen. Shedeur last week, fucking Jerry Jeudy, scripted fumbles, and he don't have a team of stars. But him alone and what he's able to do to make them look better. I don't see that in Cam Ward. So I don't know if the jury's out as far as the Titans finding their quarterback. But for this matchup, Jacksonville is 6.5-point favorites on the road. Their defense, is very good. I still don't fucking trust Trevor Lawrence, but he might be a slight better than what I'm seeing from Cam Ward. All right. So they're one of Darlin's teams. I will go Jags. I don't see the Titans winning. They could. It's a division game, but I don't see them getting it all cylinders yet. So for this one, I would lean for the Jaguars. Keep on winning. Titans, we'll see what you got to do. If you're going to get another quarterback, if you're going to ship them out, rebuild, what you're going to do. All right, so we're going to move on. We got the Texans at the Colts. Very good game. Colts coming off the bye. Texans coming off a 2-game win streak. 2 or 3-game win streak. The Colts are at home, 4.5. Before the bye, I believe they lost to the Chiefs. No, they didn't even go on a bye. Yeah, they were on a bye. They lost to the Chiefs before the bye. All right, so they went on a bye. Now they're back. Very good game, division game. Texas and the Colts. Texans seem to, their defense is looking stupendous. We don't know if Stroud is back yet or not, but Texans been beating up on some average teams. They've been getting some good wins. They got a big win against the Bills, scripted, but nice big win. So let's see. I'm not sure. Texans and Colts. Of course, we would lean towards the Colts. They're more of a complete team. They just came off a loss and they're off the bye, so they got time to prepare for the Texans. Let me take a peek just of who won, because that's a division game, so they play each other twice. I just want to see what happened, or did they play each other yet? So maybe that'll give us some insight on what we got next. Let's see. Texans at the Colts. Nope. All right. So yeah, they didn't play them yet. So this will be their first matchup, and then they play each other again in week 18. All right. So that don't give us any help there. So yeah, I would just lean towards the Colts being a better team overall. Stroud's kind of hurt. They're a little banged up. They've been playing great defense, so this will be a tight game. But yeah, until otherwise, I would lean towards the Colts. See if they get back on track. All right. Moving on to another one I think I'll take as one of my picks. We got the Saints at the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off the bye and a loss. The Saints are trash. They just lost at home. I believe it was 24-10. Tyler Shuck, not the guy. So Dolphins, even though they ain't too great, but I'd rather go with Achane. I'd rather go with Waddle. I'd rather go with them at home coming off the bye as opposed to the Saints. So I don't see Tyler Shuck getting a win on the road. So you can lock in, give me the Dolphins money line. Even though they're 6-point favorites, I don't fuck with these scripted spreads. Give me the Dolphins to win money line on that one. Okay. Yeah, I just trust the Dolphins at home more than the Saints. Saints aren't doing much. I'm surprised they got 2 wins this year. All right. Moving on. We have the Falcons at the Jets. I don't want no parts of this game. I'll pick my nose before I pick this game. Yuck. You got Kirk Cousins there. You got Tyrod Taylor as the starters. Yuck. Jets are horrible. Falcons been playing terrible. Falcons on the road, so that makes them even less. I would lean towards them if they were home with Bijan. Bijan's got 4 touchdowns all season. Ilk. Well, 4 rushing touchdowns. Excuse me, rushing touchdowns. He might have more receiving. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns all season, which is terrible. Okay, I'm not touching that game. Atlanta's 2.5-point favorites on the road for those who care. The information I just displayed. Good luck to you. I want nothing to do with it. Good luck. All right. Moving on, Cardinals and the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 2.5-point favorites at home against the Cardinals. Baker Mayfield seems it's about pain tolerance. We don't know if he's going to be back yet or they're going to go with Bridgewater again. We do have on the other side Cardinals. We got Trey McBride balling. Marvin Harrison Jr. still yet to be decided. He got his appendix taken out 2 weeks ago. He's practicing, but we don't know if he's back yet. Okay. Jacoby Brissett has been starting. There's no more Kyler Murray. It's not too much excitement with this game, except the fact Chris Godwin, he came back last week, so he's there. We still don't know about Bucky Irvin. Think he's still out. They need Baker to play to win this game, I feel like. Brissett, he's okay, but they don't have their stars. They don't have the Mike Evans. Godwin's just getting back. Luka looks nice, but they don't have too much. Cardinals been playing pretty close. Their defense has been all right. They've been fighting hard, but without your quarterback, it's hard to win in this league. So, of course, I would lean Buccaneers. They're at home, but 2.5 is kind of iffy. Be careful with that one. If Baker plays, give me the Buccaneers. Mind you, they're still at the top of the division, but they're right there fighting with Carolina. These guys are in a fight for the division. So they need Baker to come back. I would lean Buccaneers a little bit, in this one now. If Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, if they're all healthy and Baker does not play, then, I would probably lean Cardinals with the points. But for now, I would lean just Buccaneers. They've lost 3. Yeah, I would lean Bucks. They lost 3 games in a row. The one they wasn't supposed to lose, and at home to the Patriots. And then they lost at Bills, at Rams. So 4 in a row to lose to the Cardinals and they're on home, I don't see that. So that reason, I would take the Buccaneers on that one. Not locking it as my pick, but I would take the Buccaneers. All right, next game is the Rams at the Panthers. Rams are 10.5-point favorites on the road against Carolina, who had a bad game last week against the Niners on Monday night. However, they have been a decent team, and they're in the fight for the division with the Buccaneers. 10.5 at home. I love the Rams. I do love the Rams, but that is a lot to ask on the road against a decent team. Not picking this one. Good luck with that spread. Rams at home, I would probably lean the Panthers getting 10.5. I mean, Bryce Young, you can get a backdoor touchdown if they're running away with it. You know what I mean? You got Horn as your defender, but of course, Rams will be the favorite to win, but damn, that's asking a lot on the road. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. All right. Now, let's go into my third pick that I'm taking. Got the Vikings at the Seahawks. Sam Darnold getting revenge against his old team, the Vikings, who shipped him out. Seahawks are 11.5-point favorites. J.J. McCarthy is ass. I don't even know if he's starting this week. Are they going back to fucking Carson Wentz? Are they going to a third? I don't know what they're doing, but give me the Seahawks all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Smith-Njigba, number 1 wide receiver in the league. Darnold definitely needs a bounce back game. He's been playing kind of iffy, but he needs to strike hot against the Vikings. I know it's Brian Flores' defense. I know they know him well, so we'll see. But give me the Seahawks, money line. Just lock it in. Just lock it in for me. Not really much else there. All right. So now we have the Bills at the Steelers, which will be a very good game. Buffalo is 3.5-point favorites on the road. Then Buffalo just got spanked. Miami not too long ago. Then they got spanked by the Texans. And now they're at the Steelers, and they're the favorite? Wow. Okay. Steelers are getting 3.5 at home. Aaron Rodgers trending towards playing. Look like he's going to play. Remember, it's his left wrist. It's not his throwing wrist. So he's trending towards playing. Bills don't have, it's them and James Cook. That's all I see is Allen and James Cook. Can he do it all by himself against T.J. Watt, Ramsey, and that Steeler defense when it wants to show up and play? That's a tough ass, my boy. That is a tough ask. If Aaron Rodgers play, they getting 3.5 at home. I would take that all day. I love Josh Allen, but they ain't got nobody. Their team, they ain't got no team. They don't have no team. What they got on defense? You take Josh Allen and James Cook out of it. Okay, Kincaid is probably trending to be back, but for them to cover 3.5 at Steeler Nation, terrible towels, AFC matchup, both fighting for playoffs. Ooh, I don't know about that. If you ask me, I would have to take the Steelers with the 3.5. That's just me. You know what I mean? But good luck on that one. That line's a little iffy. That line is definitely a little iffy. All right, and for my last game that I will be taking as part of my 4, we got the bum ass Raiders. Bye bye, Chip Kelly. At the Chargers. 7-4. They're still in the playoff race. I believe they just came off the bye week as well. They're 8.5 favorites. It's a division game, but what do we see from the Raiders to know that they're going to win this? Give me the Chargers all day, every day. Raiders fire Chip Kelly. Pete Carroll's next. Like this, they've lost this team. Started with Tom Brady not taking Shedeur Sanders, to be honest. You know what I mean? He could have sat behind Geno and warmed up, but for whatever reason, it's just been all downhill. They went with Genty. Don't seem like he was a good pick, but it just don't seem like he fits the offense of what they're doing over there for the Raiders. But yeah, give me the Chargers, man. Lock it in all day, every day. You know, especially there at home. There's not much more to say about that. All right. So last at the Sunday night game, the Broncos at the Commanders. Broncos on the road giving the Commanders 6-point spread. Bo DB, congratulations on that baby, busting nuts and winning. Bo DB doing his thing. Commanders still have what's his name? Marcus Mariota. Jay Daniels is trending to come back, but it doesn't look like he'll be playing this week. I don't see why he's coming back that fast with that elbow injury that we saw, but whatever. Commanders at home. They stink right now. Everybody's going Broncos. They're 9-2, 6-point favorites on there. We don't see the Commanders beating them. You know, I believe Terry McLaurin is coming back, but I don't think that's enough to beat the Broncos. That defense, and they're just running right now. So until I see more, I would just take the Broncos money line to run through them. But it is a road game, so you never know. And finally, Monday, we have the Giants at the Patriots. No Eli, no Tom Brady in this one. All right, Patriots are giving the Giants 7.5. Jameis Crablegs Winston back at the helm. Drake May playing like MVP. Of course, everyone will take the Patriots at home. You know, we don't see the Giants going into Foxborough and beating them. However, we didn't see it with the 2 Super Bowls from Eli. So, you know, maybe a little wiki going there. If the Giants win, that shit is completely rigged. You know what I mean? But the Patriots should win. It's a Monday night primetime game. Good luck with that one. All right. So that is the games for the Thanksgiving week. And again, I just want to reiterate Snoop's picks. My picks will be my birthday win by the Eagles on Friday against the Bears. Eagles, lock it in. My next pick will be the Miami Dolphins at home against the bum-ass Saints. Lock it in. My next pick will be the Seattle Seahawks against the Vikings. Sam Darnold getting back at his old team. Lock it in. And finally, my 4th pick will be the Chargers at home against the Raiders. Lock it in. Those will be my 4 picks for the week that I am running with. I'll put it in a parlay. I'll also do it separately, move things around and see what I like. Okay? Tell me what script that you might predict. Put it in the comments. Give me your 4. Give me your 4 parlay. I like it. I'll throw something on it. If it hit, I'll cash app you something. We in this fight together, guys. We're fighting the scripted game. We're playing against the scripted game. You know what I mean? We're playing against the rigonometry. So we got to predict on the right side of it, like Biff with the almanac. Remember Back to the Future? We need to predict it right as if we got the almanac. We predict the right storyline, and we get paid. That's what we're trying to do as we're being entertained by scripted football. So tell me what you guys like. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you for the Rig Report recap in a few days after Thanksgiving. I wish everybody a good holiday, spending time with your family, time off of work. See you guys later in the week. I'm out.